Welcome back, humble traders. Today I'll be doing a technical breakdown on Netflix, ticker symbol NFLX. Before I begin, remember to take a second to give the video a like and subscribe as it really help out the channel. Do note that I do not provide any buy or sell calls, but focus on a potential trap set up by the market makers. Without further ado, let's take a look at Netflix. So Netflix just reported its earnings, and pre-market it seems to be down around 25%. It's currently trading around 255 levels. So looking at the trend, you can see that obviously Netflix had a very good uptrend previously in the past few years, and now it's currently in a downtrend. So in a downtrend, usually we have rebounds, but for a downtrend to have a reversal, then it will take it's quite a long period of time for a long accumulation. And if it doesn't take place, then the trend will just continue remaining sliding down further. So bear in mind that this gap has not been covered yet, and later on we are likely to have a gap that will be created. And if this gap has not been likely to close in the future, then we may be seeing below 200s very soon for Netflix. Looking at the charts, where exactly are my potential supports coming in for Netflix? So the first particular support that I'm looking at is around 290. You can see that this is a very obvious support level here. However, now it has turned into a particular it may be becoming a particular resistance in the future. So the next particular support I'm looking is around 251 to 255, 251 to 252 rather. So you can see that here is a potential support for Netflix, and it may be tested later on. So what most people maybe retail investors may be putting is they are putting their stop losses just below 250, around 248 to 249, because this support level is very obvious for almost everyone. So everyone can see this support level. So the retail investors may be putting their stop losses here, and that's where market makers come in to actually try to find these stop losses. However, if we were to break down, not for later, but in upcoming days or upcoming weeks, we may be testing this very critical support level at around 230, 231 levels. So this may be another support level that may be tested. You can see that across the charts, there's only these two particular supports that we'll be looking at 250 and also 230. So again, 228 to 229 may be a potential stop hunting for these market makers. Not forgetting, so this 290 will act now as a previous support will now turn into resistance. So that is not a good sign at all, because you can see that on the way up, even if the stock were to go up today or later on, we may be rejected by these previous support levels that now turn into resistance. So unless later the first hour is very critical for Netflix, if we are able to come back again and the buyers step in strong to close this gap, then potentially we are pretty safe. However, in the event that we do not close this gap and sellers were to dominate and manage to finish a stock near the low, near the day low at the end of the day, then that will not be a good sign. So I do expect more selling pressure in the upcoming days, perhaps 2 days or 3 days later, similar situation to this. So looking at the MACD, it's has really turned very bearish. You can see that we did cut up, but because of the lack of volume here, we couldn't continue this momentum, and we were blocked by these particular clouds here. So later on, I'll just be looking at this particular 250 support, 248, 249 here is very, very critical. And in the event that we do go up, I'm afraid that this 290 is very difficult for Netflix to cross. And upcoming sessions, this 230 support will be very obvious, and most of the retail investors may be putting their stop losses here. Let's take a look at the monthly chart to get a better idea of where exactly are the potential areas. So you can see that now Netflix is actually within the monthly charts, the clouds. So as you see for previous experiences, Netflix actually never touched these monthly clouds before, and it seems that it is touching it for the first time. So the chart is really very bearish. You see that the MACD is really turning very, very red. But of course, potential area for stop hunting is where it's just below the clouds, because just below the clouds area, we may see a lot of people putting their stop losses, or even people start to turn short when they were initially long, but they turn short just below the clouds. That's where the market makers push the stock back up after they have collected and accumulated enough. So that being said, I think that will still take some time. It will definitely not happen today. Today, I'll just be watching the 250 support levels, whether or not it will be tested and whether or not it will be broken or even supported. So if there's any changes, I'll give you guys an update. Thanks for stopping by, and don't forget to subscribe as you keep the uptrend channel intact. Leave a comment below if you have any other stock tier requests. Till we meet again. Appreciate the manipulation.